While city investigators search for the contractor responsible for a West Side home where a man died last week, we have learned the homeowner may be facing sanctions as well. Eyewitness News reporter Sue Kalberg has been looking into how to avoid waking up to your own home improvement nightmare.
It's heartbreaking, it's heartbreaking for me and my family.
Homeowner Rick Herrera says his family is devastated by the loss of Jose Luna Costa, who died Friday while doing foundation repair work under the family home on Texas Avenue on San Antonio's west side. The home has a stack of prior code violations.
I've been doing little by little. It just takes time.
Did they have the proper permits to do the work they were doing?
No, unfortunately they did not.
City officials say it's critically important to hire the right contractor and make sure to follow the rules.
If you're going to do some foundation work, please make sure that you're going through the proper steps and ensuring that your contractor does pull the proper permits and work with the city.
Shannon says demand answers.
Are they properly registered with the city? Do they have the proper insurance for any type of issues that happen on the job site?
Information about contractors is available in person, online, and by phone.
Call the city at 207-1111 and we'll do some investigation ourselves.
Rat them out.
Please, we would like that.
At KENS5.com, you'll find a link. Sue Kalberg, KENS 5, Eyewitness News.